Hello. Okay, so it's been a chaotic day. Went through a lot. First preview. Welcome back. Okay, so again, went through a lot. Even just to this day, it's been a hassle. Woke up first thing that might happen shortly after. My sister called me, told me it was snowing. But my neighbors, God bless them, one day I will beat them to it though. Shoveled the front. One day. So, and then I had to put salt down. After that, what the heck happened after that? Oh, I wanted to eat, but then I'm like, it's like I don't have a lot of time today because my sister's not here and my father needs food, so I have to cook for them. So I want to get through as much my priorities throughout before I start cooking around 3. So I'm rushing through it. I just made a soup, that leftover soup my aunt made. And I can't eat soup. Maybe it's just me. I just can't eat soup without dumplings in it. So I had to make dumplings. And this time I add ginger and ginger powder and garlic powder into my mix. So yeah. And for my soup. Mister's still here. Everyone can see Mister. Mister? Hi. Hi, Mister. So yeah. Anyway. I also finally finished this book, and I talked about it. I'm making a separate video, already recorded it. It might not be the best. It might not make the most sense. I tried to. As usual, I don't plan any of these out. I just talk it through as I go along. Anyway, so, but you're not just here to learn about what my day is going about today. You're here to learn how my last 2 weeks since the last video edit. So, since my last video vlog, there was SCBW. I finally went to my first in-person conference, Writers and Illustrators, SCBW in-person winter conference. But there's the time before it, and there's the time after it, and there's time during it. Excuse me. That just came out of nowhere. Okay, so I'm gonna break it down between those 3. So, before SCBW conference, I don't know what happened. Even when I went through my notes, like, what did I do before it? Nothing. But I do remember reading. Actually, there was something I did. I did finish read parts that was important to me of the Namio genre. And as I said, I remember last time I told you that it gives me an idea of what a genre is. So I actually went back and I wrote down the pacing. Took those notes and wrote down the pacing of my stories, how I want to break down stories, and this will happen here for this part, and so on and so forth. For not only the Kigaru Hime story that I'm trying to write. There's going to probably be a series, and the Dobutsu manga, but also this other story that I decided to write for the Japanese Nihongo de Shosetsu Blogu website. I don't even know what it's called, but it's basically where you could write. It's like, shit, what's that website? If I remember our website, I would write. I'll just put it on the bottom of the screen, or on the top, whatever. So I did the pacing. I finished read it, and I wrote down the pacing beats for each story, and how I would what I would like to happen during the beat. It's like pretty much like planning it out. So after writing it, I'm not planning out. But the only one except for the, I said for the website, that's the only one I plan out before I even touch writing. But there's a reason for that. Anyway, now SBWI in-person conference. Now, there was a lot that happened. And I do mean a lot. And I should have took the book down before I even sat down. But, hold on, pause. Where's the book? Mister? You know what a book is? No, it's okay. I'll get the book. I'll find it. Pause. Okay, I'm back. So, the end conference technically officially starts on Saturday. Please ignore my cat licking plastic behind me. Conference technically starts on Saturday, but there were parts of it that started on Friday. For example, the portfolio review was on Friday. I wanted to see it, but because it started so late, I was like, not worth it. I didn't win. But I did went to the one on a conference, Constellation for social media, because I didn't have a website yet. But I had my social media done, so I decided to see what that's about, and I went for that Constellation, and it was insightful about what I need to do. It did help me with improve my bio, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure I'm going to write that for the rest of my social media. They did give me ideas of what I should do and what I could post, and how I could improve my posting, and how to better reach out to the community and engage into the community to help my algorithm. So yeah, there's that. So my cat is still ignoring me. But now then was Saturday. The Saturday conference, there was a lot going on Saturday. So there was a keynote with a poet from London, and he is a like ambassador of, and he, like he likes to say, he's the youngest one. He was very engaged, and I really loved the poem we did. We made all together. Technically, I didn't say anything. I'll cry with him. Wow. But everyone else. I'm trying to remember what we went through, what we did. Hold on. This is where my phone also comes in. And I saved the documents, so it should still be here. Also, I downloaded TaskRabbit for the tasker, and nothing. But I did ask my sister for some advice, and she did give me how I could get tasks and so on and so forth. The best way to get tasks. And basically it's just be available, especially since it's been a long time since I was on the site. But that's after the, well, kind of. It's a mix of both. Okay, here we go. Schedule. Alright, so Saturday schedule. Yeah, Sunday. After we did the keynote, the welcoming, also coffee. I got there late, so I woke up early to get there on time for the orientation for first time attendees like myself. I ended up getting there late because I took the wrong train, bound train. I meant to take the Manhattan bound train, and I ended up going on the Brooklyn, so I ended up getting late, even after waking up early. I was so upset with myself. So upset with myself. I cannot talk anymore. Anyway, after that was the first creative lab, which was revision half marathon, revision strategies to get novel to the finish line with Kate Messner. And it was quite insightful. She gave me a lot of, well, not just me, everyone, a lot of mentor text, which was a thing that I heard before this seminar, but I didn't really process what that meant until this seminar. And it will come up with the other creative lab too. She gives a lot of tips and hints on how to revise. I'm not going to go through every single tip she gave me. Mostly because I just don't want to stretch it out too long. Where is it? This is panel. There we go. Some of them is like basically, again, with using methods, studying pacing from other other books that's similar to yours. I was Superman, but instead of falling. Now I was using a genre. And I'm going to genre, but they also gave text examples, so you take those examples, look to those books as appealing to me, not only just appealing to me, but also with an example of the genre that I want to write, and then look at those, how they break down those texts, and apply that to my story too. So that's wonderful. So there you go. And especially another one that was very time saving for me, especially as I said, one of them, actually more than one of them, Kirigaeru and the Uchujin to Yosei manga are definitely going to end up being series. So what she says is creating a series Bible, and basically so I could remember everything so I don't have to like forget a character, like, oh wait, how does this character way back in book whatever looks like, or what they did, whatever. Creating a series Bible is very helpful. Was this? Yeah, so basically, oh, more apps. Oh, okay, that was a poem. We created a poem using more apps. There you go. That was with the key speaker. By the way, the key speaker, I should tell you his name is Joseph. Can't spell his last name is say his last name is Coelho. He's an author and poet. So those are those two things that I found the most that stuck out to me. And another thing that stuck out to me, that she gave us to do, is kind of like homework, but beautiful, helpful work, beneficial homework. Is basically a chart to use to plan out your plot points. So she gave us this sheet, and she gives a blank one, so you can make copies of writing out everything that's important to you in your story. Write out the chapters and plot it out every time there's that mentioned into the chapter. Check it off. And I was like, oh, beautiful, thank you. And that was the first keynote for Saturday. Then after that, it was making Flip's lunch. Sorry, it was lunch. And then it was a little talk, a short talk. It was 30 minutes. It was a brief talk with Book Baby, the representatives of Book Baby. Basically, Book Baby is a POD, published on demand, and I just needed to get a better, which is very helpful because I wanted to do self-publishing. I don't know why, but first thing I want to do was self-publish. I can't explain it, but I just, like, the main reason why is because I didn't want to go through the publishing industry when it comes to graphic novels. And since I was making a self-publishing with graphic novels with my novel, I decided to do the same thing anyway. It was no big deal to me. So yeah, and not only during the conference when you were speaking, but even then after, I went back to ask more questions of us more dedicated to me to give me a better idea, because I was very confused and conflicted about, like, should I go with Book Baby or should I go with Instagram Star? I was gonna go either way, because I wasn't sure. They do give you with a flat price, you could get as many samples as you want, which was perfect, great. Another thing that was bothering me is, like, how does this work? Do I continuously have to order books for you to sell so I can then sell it, or do you give me a link that directly goes to you, so then when people click on my site, it goes to your site and you just publish it, print it? And basically that is how it works, because I wasn't sure how it works. I didn't understand it because no one explained the details of how it works. So they do get a link, and they it goes to their site, and they could a link, and it will publish the book whenever somebody clicks the link. But you have to buy a certain amount of books, the printed version of it. So I'm like, all right, cool. The minimum is 25. Then after that was an interview with Cece Bell, which also, I didn't know who she was before the interview, but when I saw her books, I'm like, okay, I definitely saw her books before. I didn't know, but she has an interesting personality.
It really matters that you're going to end up with a better book if you're happy. If you're happy, you know it's happy.
And I do remember one of her books. It was became big
in fiction, and looking back on it.
And she recently released a new book. She's coming up with a new book, and it comes with she went so far and she got so into the creativity side of it. Not only she didn't stop at the book. She even made the music. She got work with composers and whatever, and so on and so forth, to make the book. And the book, and from making the book to making a music video. She made puppets to make the music video. So I like, that was so cute and interesting. And then it was panel, basically the outlook for children's publishing, which had the panel include Patricia Caldwell, Mallory Low-Hero, Avina Lang, and Susanna Van Metre. And I apologize to anyone's names I got wrong. Basically, this conference was talking about the latest in industry, or what people are art directors and I forgot what it's called. The word here, what I'm looking for. Okay, so we're still recording. All right, so I'm trying to wrap it up real quick because I know I don't have a lot of time on my camera. Finally, after that was the networking party. The first networking, because I wasn't sure, I went to the beginners and new timers, but it was more like a Q&A, so it wasn't like a lot of talking towards other people. It was more like the person who was like the representative or the head of it was, hey, ask me any questions and I'll answer it, kind of thing. And so then she recommended those who are illustrators to go to the Illustrator Social, and so we did. Not just me, but a few other people who were illustrators or first timers. Okay, as I said, my camera cut off because of lack of space. So again, I'm going to try my best to speed run this quickly as possible. Now that I got a little bit more room. Then again, because the social, so I met more people in my region that are writers, artists, or book author illustrators. Sorry, that's the proper term. Anyway, moving on. Then there was a social. Then the next day, the next day again, I did get there in time. This time I made sure I got there early. I got there enough time to get 2 cups of coffee. I'd have to have 2. Where is this? Sunday? Yeah, coffee. I didn't have to register because I already registered, and I already had my thing already. Then it was welcoming. Then there was awards. There was people who are awarded for the illustrations. Because the portfolio, after the portfolio showcase, there was a reward. There's a judge panels to judge the illustrations, so on forth. And so yeah, there was that. Then it was then we went to the last creative lab. That'll be on Sunday, and it was playful and practical strategies for breathing life into your characters for your idling or abandoned novels in progress. This was so helpful into giving my I was struggling to find a voice for my other character because it's talking about 2 different POVs, and I'm like, so far they sound the same in my head, and I'm like, no, there's gotta be something, and it clicked on one of the I forgot activities, practice, whatever. It clicked, and like, oh, this is my character's voice. Okay, I got it. I'm not sure how successful I am in terms of calming it, but it helped. It got it click into my brain. And so a little preview, a little talk about it. I won't go too deep, but yeah. So what he thought, one of the things he did was, before even work on the book, we didn't even work on the story. That's something separate, or later. We didn't get to do everything. There was a lot of talking in between it, and there was a lot of engagement talking with other people, and it was like very engaging, very fun. Although he didn't get to do the whole panel, to get through everything he wanted to do for his slideshow, it was still very helpful. I still find it fun and helpful. And like, as I said, I got the voice down in my things.
Memoir by Pedro Martin. Okay, and it won a lot of awards if you get to know them. And it's an exercise that I.
One of the things he did, he brought up, which is really funny, was brought up into in another seminar, was called My Space, basically building up the space of the character. Although I did it with this before with another seminar, this one went more deep, but that wasn't what clicked in from what my characters what clicked for me to bring my narrative voice. It was what was in doing pockets, which basically was what is in your pocket. But before we did what was in my character's pocket, we did what was in our pockets, and we wrote a list down, and then we exchanged with someone, and that person would look at the list of what we have in our pockets or in our bags or back pockets, our bags pockets, and picked 2 or 3 things and wrote a story behind it. And I had my card, but I don't know where I put it. And I did that with her, with this lady, and the lady did with me. And then we made our group bigger in exchange, and made our group bigger, and then we was like doing, and we asked these questions. Why does a person character have these items? How can he or will these items move the plot or story forward? Those are the questions we had to ask. When we do these I forgot what it's called, whatever. Anyway, and then we did a few more of it, and as I said, a group got bigger. Then we went back to our own stories, and we applied the same things to our own stories. Again, we didn't finish it, but it was, okay. And when we did it again, but with my characters, like, oh, you know, they will have this pocket because, and how will this move the story forward? And I'm like, that's what when it clicked to me for my character's voice. Anyway, so I don't want to talk too much about his thing because he put a lot of effort into it. That's what helped it click for me. I think that's about it. Oh no, it's not about it. Then after that, it was lunch break, which was much shorter than lunch break than compared to yesterday. And then keynote with James Ramson, who was an author illustrator, mostly an illustrator. He had a very interesting life.
Of athletes and traveling around. Illustrators who only send out one mailer and they get disappointed because no one ever responded. Sometimes you have to continue to send things out to the same person. And what I felt was,
and I was like, oh, okay, well, if he made it, I can too. And then lastly, we did a wrap up. And one of the things that throughout, I accomplished the two things I wanted. One, to get inspiration for my stories, and was two, to also get connection and network with other people, artists and writers. One, to get a little critique group, but also, again, just to connect with other writers and illustrators. And I did that and accomplished it. I got emails, I got social medias, so follows, so and I'm following them, by the way. So it was very, very helpful and very eventful, and I'm like, yes, I got exactly what I want out of this conference, and I will love to go back again next year, but who knows. As I was saying, and that's about it for the conference. After the conference, which is very interesting, I should also pick this book up before I even start doing this. By the way, what I'm wearing was what I wore on Saturday to the conference. I wore for Sunday and Friday. I wore the leopard dress with a corset. You never know. I didn't ask, but there you go. During the conference, I was collecting a lot of different people's, the one that stuck out to me, or the things I like, postcards. I didn't, and then very few cards I collect. One, and I got someone's bookmark, which was also very inspirational for me. So what I did was lay out all those, and so in the, as I said, during their seminar, they mentioned a lot about mentor text, and so these postcards were like a mentor illustration for how to plan my own postcard, because I wanted to do that, but I didn't know how to do this. So I took out the ones that I liked, why they stand out to me, and I wrote down why it stood out to me, and I made a little sheet and planning to give me an idea of how to plan my own little postcard and card and or bookmark. So there you go. That because I want to eventually start mailing out to not only publishers, mostly to art representatives. I really want to get them to help me to get like a little bit more jobs here and there. Still want to self-publish my graphic novels, but I also want to get other illustration jobs. Speaking of, one of the people I made a connection there also gave me a tip of what I should post in my social media to get to see more to see more like they want me more, like want me more, is to draw, because we came up during the last seminar, the last period, we got so engaged and got a lot of good feedback about a book that we planned together. Again, was one of the things we did. During one of the TVs, we had to create a new book, and we were as a group, and we did that. And since she's a writer and an illustrator, we came with this book, and it's like, this would be good for me to illustrate and her to write. And she looked at my social media, was like, you know, I see you draw this, but like it'd be more to show especially kids and kids of different color, see how you work with shades and so on. And like, okay, so now I've been coming back, and since I have not worked on any other things but that since. So that's after. Now we're at the part where after SB, the info conference. So that's what I've been working on. It took a while, mostly because I didn't jump right into it. I was mostly planning, and then I finally got into it, and I should be finishing this today after I finish my soup. It was one of the things I wanted to finish before I had to go cook. So yeah. So now that I finished and wrote so everything, I will want to finish working on those two illustrations, and after that I want to go back to my usual schedule, still working on other illustrations for like for promotional value and for my website to send out, and again for my social media. And I want to that will get me more not engagement, but people to want to come to like me, favor me, whatever. Something like that. So definitely draw more kids. I need to, particularly toddlers. I don't draw them often. I do draw kids once in a while. I mostly draw teens and adults. I do draw a lot of characters, and I want to go back to drawing my buildings now. I definitely need to go back to that for my manga. I've been inspired partially because of the promotional things, but I definitely need to get my settings down before I work on that part. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching this far. It's been a bit long, but yeah.